So I just got off a session call with this woman you see here, and there's something that I want to share, which is a little bit disturbing, and I'm going to use her story. Okay, so you better watch until the end. So if you are going through a breakup and your ex is still checking your Instagram stories, he's still pretty much watching everything you post, right? Maybe he doesn't like, he doesn't react, he doesn't comment, but he's still there. Or he's maybe from time to time sending some breadcrumb text messages, reaching out in, surface level, superficial, right? If you still feel like you want him back, you're still feeling very broken, you don't know how to move, move from where you are right now, this video is going to be really, really helpful. But I want to dive into, by the way, I'm using my notebook here. I want to remember everything because the story is going to be, very interesting. I want to dive into something disturbing that I just got from this call, which is this lady actually, her man is running a psychological operation on her. That might sound scary, which somehow it is, but it's something that is actually being done on many women unknowingly by their ex-boyfriends, where you find yourself thinking that, oh, maybe this was real. Maybe he's really deep in love with me. Maybe we can do something about this. There's a relationship which is supposed to be saved, and there's relationships which are not really supposed to be saved. But in this situation, you find yourself not knowing what to do. All you want is just getting him back, right? Or at least you want some clarity. Why is everything happening? Let me not take too long into this. Let me jump into the story. So this lady reached out to me, and I'm not going to mention the country where she's from because I might be giving too much, and I don't want to expose her privacy. But she reached out to me, and she told me pretty much the entire story. She met this guy. The guy was chasing like most guys do in the beginning. He was putting in a lot of efforts. He was interested, but she wasn't, though. She wasn't really feeling him. Okay. And she kept avoiding him, running away, this and that. But eventually she caught up with the attention and she started finding herself, enjoying the vibe. Like she told me, like, they really weren't talking too much, like texting or calling, but they were like, the vibe was amazing when they met in person. Every time they met in person was like amazing. She didn't want time to move, right? That's how deep it was. Then, now, slowly, they got to know each other, blah, 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 blah. One thing led to another, and they started to be intimate. But mind you, they were not officially dating. There was no any title. It was like a situationship. So they did the situationship for 3 months. But I don't want to jump to the end of 3 months. I want to go back in the beginning a little bit so that you get the context. So they were intimate. They were having sex, right? Making love. But the woman wasn't still feeling the guy that much. She wasn't invested like emotionally. She told me she loves the vibe. She loves like the energy is amazing when they're together, when they're like, one-on-one in person. But she wasn't like that into him emotionally though. She wasn't so invested. So the guy is the type of a guy who thinks he's him, right? He's the catch. And the woman also thinks she's the catch. So now this was a battle, like battle of egos, right? This man who thinks he's a catch versus this woman who thinks she's a catch. Now, how are you going to put these people together? So what happens is the man was like, wait a minute, why every woman is crazy about me? Why is every girl like trying to get my attention? Every woman that I spend time with, she goes crazy. Like she want to have more of my time. But what's wrong with this one? And you ladies, I want you to understand one thing, okay? When a man sleeps with you, when a man has sex with you, in his mind, I've said this in my previous videos. Maybe you check out other videos after watching this one. In his mind, it's like that's the end of the conquest. For a man pursuing a woman from when you guys don't know each other, from when you still have some attitude, like you somehow not even interested, and until he undresses you and you guys make love, for that man is like a big achievement. It's like a conquest, right? So that's why men brag about, sleeping with women, a bunch of women, right? Some men, not all of them, right? So this man, he was shocked because they had sex, they made love a few times, not a few times, actually, couple, like a lot of times, right? But the woman wasn't catching feelings. She wasn't like chasing and going crazy about him. So you guys have to understand that this actually destroys a man's ego to the point you can't fathom. Like, it makes a man question about his masculinity, like his manhood. Like, did I do it wrong? Was it that boring? She doesn't like it. Am I? It's like it destroys a man to the point you can't comprehend. Because for a man, he thinks that as soon as he starts making love with you, he starts making love to you, and you are being intimate, he believes you're going to catch feelings almost immediately. And this is almost, it happens. I would say like it happens almost all the time. Intimacy, kind of like the physical intimacy, kind of make women fall deeper in love with men. But for men, for some type of men, it actually makes them feel more detached, right? For this man he was expecting the lady to catch feelings, to fall in love because they're making love, right? They're being physically intimate, but she's like a player as well. She's like a guy. She's like a dude, right? She's very detached. And then the man was the one who was still asking for more time, more attention, more everything. So for the man, psychologically, this feels like you're not performing your bedroom duties. That's what boys say when you meet with your fellow guys or fellow men. They're like, maybe there's something you're not doing right. But the girl, when I got to talk with her deeply, like conversation, she told me, no, that's not a problem. That has never been a problem. It was actually awesome. It was great. But she told me initially that she's never been a type of a woman who struggle to move on from a guy. It doesn't take her more than 3 weeks. That's what she said, right? So now the guy, he kept pushing and investing time and everything, but the woman was still detached. And then she went on a trip. I won't say the country as well because I don't want to expose too much, but she went on a trip in another country. She stayed there for a few weeks, I guess. When she returned, the guy was waiting. He was like, hey, it's been a minute. Let's catch up. She went to see the guy and they made love again. Right. But what happened when she was going, before she went to the trip and until when she returned and when they made love again, in those days in between, she wasn't really like giving too much time. Because she told me like, I wasn't feeling him. I wasn't really invested. She wasn't like, giving too much time. He was the one asking, hey, can we meet on Saturday? Can we meet tomorrow? Can we do this? Can we go there? And she's like, okay, I have a job. I'm going to work, this and that. Right? You understand? So then when the girl was on a trip in another country, in those days, the guy kept investing his time like he always does. Like he always does. He always does. Oh my God. Anyways, he kept investing his time, investing his attention, and preparing her mentally so when she comes back, when she returns, they can meet, right? So when she returned, they met and they made love probably the whole night because like she told me, she woke up, oh my God, I'm saying too much. Anyways, but then something changed after. Something changed. The entire dynamic changed. Like there was an entire flip of, who was who in the situationship. The girl returned home, but the guy just stopped his efforts. He stopped everything. And this happened suddenly because remember, she returned from her trip. It's been a few weeks already. The guy was supposed to be missing her. Things were supposed to be like, hot, boiling because it's been a minute, right? But then after making love, after that day where they met and made love, and after her leaving, everything just went cold, went very weird. The guy was almost like a brand new person. He detached. At least physically, right? He never initiated calls again. He never texted again. He never asked her anything. He went cold, like detached completely. And the girl was the one now asking him out. But the girl told me like she hates being rejected. She hates being turned down. And that's why she wasn't initiating a lot of meetings and everything, a lot of dates. She was like, what if I tell him this and he tells me I'm busy, I won't have time at this time, blah, blah, blah. So but what happened? You have to remember, this wasn't like a relationship. It was like a situationship. So I don't think these people got a chance to actually connect emotionally deeper. I would say I would say this at the end. Like, let me keep it, this into the next part, which is going to be the lesson you should pick from this. And by the way, if you are going through a breakup, you want to get your ex-boyfriend back, you want to You want to heal, you want to detach, you want to purify yourself from those toxic, uh, low energy type of feelings you have every single day. Like you want to just be back to normal. Watch until the end. I have something that's going to help you. So let's go back to the story. Now, the girl is the one pushing. She's the one initiating. She's the one begging for time, begging for dates. And she's shocked. It's like, what happened? This guy used to be the one into me. He used to be the one invested. But now he's detached. I'm losing him. So she's panicking. She starts posting a lot of stories, right? Trying to get his attention. And she was doing something silly that I think maybe some women do. Probably you've done it a few times. I don't know. But most women do, right? So she was posting. She was putting stories on Instagram and blocking everyone else. And sometimes, right? And maybe saying something or, oh, by the way, this shirt is my man's. Like she had a shirt from her man that she got from her man, and she made such stories, right? So trying to see the reaction. So the guy said nothing, right? But he's always there watching the stories, said nothing. And then she decided one evening, she took some of her old videos she had when she went to club, when she was partying with her friends. So she took that video, she put it on her story and to see the reaction, right? But she was doing it on purpose, obviously, because why didn't she pick a picture or a video from when she was in the church, right? Why did she pick that same video from club? So she knew what she was doing. All right, so just like what she was expecting, the guy, he folded a little bit. He was like, hey, where are you right now? So, but when the girl actually posted the video on her story, she slept because she was just at home, right? She slept. When she woke up in the morning, she saw messages of the guy saying, hey, are you at home? Where are you? What, like, like he was tripping a little bit. He was kind of like panicking. So, but this is the guy who's always like very conserved. Like he doesn't show or share too much emotionally, at least for the bond they had. I don't think, for me personally, I don't really think they allowed themselves to be vulnerable, to connect to the deeper extent. I think things were just superficial. They were just physical, right? So then that was the last message the guy sent. Because the next morning when the woman woke up, the lady woke up, she texted him, "Hey, what's up?" I don't know whatever she told him because she didn't tell me what she actually told him. But she said that the guy left her on scene. He never replied. He never said anything, and that was it. And that is 3 months ago. The last message that I was describing that she sent, that's 3 months ago, and that was the last time these two people have been in contact. So now, what's the problem? The problem is that this lady, she was in a 4-year relationship before the guy. She was in a 4 whole year relationship before the guy. And she told me that she never struggled to move on. Like it didn't take her more than a year. She was fine. But for the first time, this is a guy who manages to have that bigger impact emotionally on her to the point that she can't do anything even after 3 months. She told me, like, I've been doing situationships, I meet people every now and then, but I've never met a guy who can destabilize me mentally for 3 months when we've only been, dealing with each other for only 3 months as well, right? So she was like, what should I do? Because she posts stories almost every single day, and the guy is there watching every day. So the reason why I said she was put into a psychological operation, I'm coming back to what I said in the beginning of this video, is that this can only be done through through 3 reasons. So the first reason is the guy was afraid, right? The guy, first of all, I told you, like, he feels like he's the catch. He gets women all the time. He gets attention all the time. So getting attention all the time, it does something crazy or weird to everyone, right? Men and women. Because now when he meets a woman who's not giving him that same attention he gets from other women, he sees her as a challenge, as different. And in him, he's gonna develop that ego. He's like, okay, who the hell do you think you are? Like, every woman falls for me. Like, do you think you're better than other women I've been dealing with? So he's going to develop that ego inside of him. So that's the reason number 1, big ego. And the girl as well, she has the same ego, right? So 2 egos, they never cohabitate together. They never deal with each other easily, right? So with his big ego, he was like, yeah, I'm done doing all this. let me just have sex with her because I know it's going to hurt her. Let me sleep with her for the last time and don't say nothing the next day. Just leave her like on scene the next day. Because for women, sex is like supposed to be intimacy, a bond, something meaningful. So when somebody comes and have your body, and then the next morning they don't want to talk to you, it's very hurtful, right? So that's what the guy did. This was intentional. It's very intended because he knew what he was doing. So that's reason number one. Reason number two. So reason number one being he wants to destabilize her, to make her hate herself. Like, I can sleep with you tonight and then the next morning you're a nobody to me, right? So he wants to kind of like make her chase him but break her. Like, I'll break you so that you want me to fix you back. So reason number two, the guy was trying to protect himself, right? He was trying to protect himself, which is he saw this girl and he realized that he's the one catching feelings. He's the one who's like falling in love. And he was like, this is wrong. Because almost every man in the beginning, when they start to deal with women or date women, sorry, when they start to date women, they give themselves out, right? They invest emotionally. They're into it until when maybe a few breakups happen, maybe 1, 2, 3 breakups, and then they start to want to not be the ones to be broken in a relationship. Now they want to be the ones leaving, not the ones being left or being broken. This is a coping mechanism. It's a mechanism of a man trying to survive. It's a survival instinct that sometimes is seen as being evil, being malicious, being so mean, right? But this is not just on men; it's also on women as well. All of us with sometimes just two beautiful people, two kind people who are just trying to protect themselves, and then they end up hurting each other, right? So this man, reason number two, I'm going to say he was trying to protect himself because he felt like he's catching feelings, and this woman is detached, and they never allowed themselves to actually share to the deeper level emotionally. They never really bonded emotionally that much for the man to feel free to be vulnerable. So calling and texting and initiating everything, it starts to be like, I'm not supposed to be doing this since we've already slept together. Because the man feels like you should be the one as a woman catching more feelings because women are emotional. That's what they say, right? So it was a way of trying to protect himself because he knows he's catching feelings, and she seemingly not catching feelings. She's still detached, even after sleeping with her like a lot of times. So it's like, you know what? Let me stay away. And now the third reason is that he's just detached. He's watching her stories because he wants to see where, she is in life right now. And he's really not that into her. But this, I'm going to give it probably 5% possibility, because if you're really, really detached, you become indifferent. You don't care to know where and how people are doing in life, right? You don't want to be checking the stories. So that's why I give it maybe 5%. But the two main reasons why your ex-boyfriend or your ex-husband or whoever, your ex-situationship partner is still there checking your stories. Maybe they're, giving you some breadcrumbs, they're reaching out, but then not investing that much. It could be two things mainly. Number one, they're scared of opening up because they feel like if they throw the ball to your court and then you be the one leaving them on sin, you be the one ignoring them, you be the one that you're going to be the one who wins, right? This might sound a little bit immature, but even adults, they still have the degree of insecurity, if I would call it insecurity. But that's reason number one. He want to be sure. It feels safer for him to be the one rejecting you, leaving you on sin, not initiating calls, just because that's how he feels protected. He feels like he's safer that way. Because if he initiated, if he texted you, if he called you, and then you ignore him, now you're going to feel a little bit uplifted, right? Because you're like, whatever, I'm the one who ignored you anyways. Somehow psychologically you feel like you won, and he's going to feel like he's the one who's rejected. So this is a man trying to make sure that he won't mess up his emotional state if you reject him. Reason number one. Reason number two, he might be big-headed. He has a big ego, right? He's like, why should I text you? Why? So you're acting tough. You should be catching feelings. You should be the one, who's deeply invested into me? Why am I the one who's supposed to be texting and doing all that? So because of the ego, he doesn't want to do anything. And you have to remember that for men, like I said, psychologically, they expect you as a woman to be very, very invested in them if they've slept with you, because they feel like they took away your leverage, which is your body is like the ultimate end goal leverage in a man's conquest. In most men's mind, that's how they think, right? So if he sleeps with you, maybe you've been dating, obviously, right? Or you was a situationship. They feel like you're going to be the one now so invested emotionally, and you're gonna be chasing and doing too much. When you're not doing that, it hurts their ego. So for him to protect his ego, is gonna be a little bit mean and cold. But then surprisingly, he's gonna be there watching your stories on Instagram, which is very confusing, right? Because if you act like you're okay without me, why the hell are you watching my stories? So you have to see that this is a very big psychological manipulation operation that is being run on you, because that's being ran on you, because he knows that the more he keeps watching your stories, you're going to notice, because you're going to scroll through and see who's watching your stories, and then the minute he stops watching them, you're going to notice as well. So he can watch for a week or two and then boom, disappear for a whole week or two as well, and then it's going to destabilize you. That's what happened to this lady, because now she's telling me, hey, I feel like I want him back. I'm like, are you sure you want him back? Or this? Because for me, I know what happened, right? I know that's not love. It's not like really genuine feelings. It's her ego that was hurt, and she wants to gain some validation from him, right? She don't want to feel like she was left behind. She don't want to feel like she was abandoned. She was expecting him to keep doing what he was doing, which is chasing her. So that's pretty much the lesson in this video. I want you to ask yourself one question. Do you actually want him back? Do you actually miss him? Do you actually want to get this person back, or want him for the rest of your life? Or you want to feel how it feels to be chosen by him again? I want you to genuinely think about that, like deeply, because now you might feel like you want him back, but it's just a reaction to the psychological operation that's being ran on you, or probably that is happening naturally on you right now. So I want to ask you this question, and tell me probably in the comment section. I'm going to read. If we came back, if you got back the last version of him before you guys broke up, before you guys ended things, if you got back that version of him, the last 30 days, last month of your relationship, if you got back that version of him, would you be comfortable? Would you be okay to keep that man? Would you really feel like, yeah, I'm fine with it? Now you probably might be like, yeah, of course, sure, because you are still emotionally broken and hurt, like you're healing. But if you sit down and really think about that deeply, you're going to know if you truly want this man back as him, or if it's just a psychological reaction that's happening on you. All right. So I hope this video helped. I hope you gained something from the story that I shared, or from the things that the few tips that I just gave you right now. If there's a question, let me know in the comment section. If there's something you want to share personally, tell me. If you need an advice, just comment down. I'm going to get back to you. And if this is the first time seeing me, I keep it real. I keep it authentic, because I want to connect with you guys. I want to be able to help, but in a very authentic way. So subscribe, like the video, and check out the other videos as well on this page, because they're amazing. Okay, you're going to love them. If you want to get your ex-boyfriend back, if you want to get your ex-man back, if you want to get your ex-situationship partner back the right way, you don't know how to do it, you can check the link below this video in the description. I'm going to help you. I've helped a lot of women. If you click on that link, you're going to see so many testimonials. And if you want to work with me on that, I'm going to help you. It's a journey. It's not guaranteed. I never lie to you people like, hey, no, it's not guaranteed, because I don't perform magic. But there's always a chance if you work with me, we can do something about it. At least worst case scenario, I'm going to guarantee you that you're going to heal and detach and be indifferent. You won't be controlled by this situation. That's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we get him back. This time on your terms, not you trying to beg and everything, okay? I hope you love this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.